Hi everyone, my name is Hope Bürki, and welcome back to the Bürki Breakdown. So in this episode, I'll be doing a little bit of a recap of St. Louis City's 2025 season, and we'll be talking about some of my favorite moments from the season, as well as what I'm looking forward to for the next season. So the guys finished this season with a record of 8-18-8, which is 8 wins, 18 losses, and 8 ties. The 8 wins were 3-0 at LA Galaxy, 1-0 versus Seattle, 2-1 versus San Jose, 2-1 versus Portland, 3-1 versus Nashville, 2-0 at Montreal, 3-1 at San Jose, and 3-1 at Austin. All those wins were really fun to watch, and it was so great to see the guys' hard work paying off in those wins. It was also great to see them keep their win streak against San Jose. They're officially 6-0-0 against them. The guys all worked really hard and really well together to secure those wins, and I'm so proud of them for working so hard. The 8 ties they had this year were 0-0 versus Colorado, 0-0 at San Diego, 0-0 versus Vancouver, 2-2 versus LAFC, 2-2 versus Kansas City, 3-3 versus the LA Galaxy, 1-1 versus Dallas, and 2-2 versus Salt Lake. The guys really fought hard in those ties, too, and made sure the other team wouldn't go home with 3 points. Those matches were really entertaining to watch, and the goals scored in both the wins and the ties were nothing short of amazing. The remaining 18 matches this year were losses, but I will say the guys gave it everything they had every single match, and they never gave up no matter what the outcome was and no matter what adversity faced them. That's what I really love about this team. They always give it their all for their club and for their fans. Never lose that fighting spirit, guys. I cannot wait to see you fighting again next season. So like I said before, their final record was 8-18-8, 8 wins, 18 losses, 8 ties, and that gave them 32 points on the season. The guys scored a total of 48 goals this season across all competitions, which includes the MLS regular season, the US Open Cup, and the Aston Villa friendly match. Many of the guys contributed to that total, including Josh Yarrow, who scored 1 goal, Kyle Hebert, who had a goal and an assist, Joey Zielinski, who had 1 goal, Haziel Orozco had 1 goal, Conrad Vollum had a goal and 2 assists, Tomas Ostrak had 1 goal and 2 assists, Adu had 6 goals and 3 assists, Celio had 2 goals and 7 assists, Cello had 9 goals and 4 assists, Mackay Joyner had 1 goal, Klaus had 10 goals and 2 assists, Simon Betcher had 3 goals and 2 assists, Seti Toyshirt had 3 goals and 1 assist, Thomas Totland, Timo Baumgartel, Falu Fall, and Chris Durkin each had 1 assist. All of these goals were so fun to watch, and it was so exciting to see the guys get so excited, and it's so hard to choose a favorite from this year because there were so many that were incredible. But I've narrowed it down to my top 3. So in third place for me is the goal that Cello scored against Austin in their last away match of the season. I think he received the ball from a teammate and then made a quick turnaround and then made a rocket shot towards the goal and banged it past Stuver into the back of the net.
U2 Stadium. One back in a good area. Marcel Hartzell. He'll go for goal. What a goal! How about setting the tempo? Marcel Hartzell, 1-0 in Austin.
This ball gets launched into the air, and it's a really just careless ball. Songbin does so well to bring this down and quickly get a secondary touch, but it's the way Hartzell checks his shoulder and then receives it on a half turn. He feels the pressure from Sanchez, so that's why he cuts over to the right. And when there's no pressure from his center back, he opens his hips, and my goodness, That is a fantastic strike. Very few goalkeepers in the world are saving that. The shape, the precision, the placement, everything you could want in a top drawer finish from Marcel Hartzell.
That's not the only banger goal that Cello scored this year. He also did one of those against San Jose, which is another one of my favorites, but didn't quite make it into my top 3. So in second place for me is the goal that Celio scored against Kansas City back in May. Another banger for sure, and from distance too. And his celebration afterwards also was icing on the cake after that goal.
Off the back of the head of Tommy Pompeo! It was worth the wait! Celio Pompeo! Living off the end of a lightning bolt! St. Louis City have the lead here at Energizer Park. That has the ability to shape, opens up his hips, and pick out that far post. Recycles the second ball, obviously knows exactly what he's trying to do the moment that he sets himself up. Time and time again on the training ground, pays dividends here at Energizer Park. Far post, side net, full stretch pulse camp. Nothing he can do about it. First goal that's...
Great job, Cello and Celio, on those goals. So my favorite goal from this year was the third goal that Klaus scored against the LA Galaxy, which earned him his hat trick, and which was the first hat trick in St. Louis City history.
Klaus. Oh, chance. Good spot here. Oh! Wow, from Gerald Klaus. Hat trick. 3-3. 95th minute. That's a laser across goal into that top corner. Watches it onto his foot. This is a new Joao Klaus in a new era.
He was assisted on that goal by Roman, who earned his first career assist in that match because of that, and Timo Baumgartel, who was the one that headed it to him. And yeah, that was just a really awesome goal and a historic goal for not only Klaus, but for the club. And the celebration after that one was pretty epic too. Congratulations again, Klaus, on earning that amazing hat trick and bringing that historic moment to the club. Moving now to the goalkeeping side of things, Roman had 91 saves this year and 4 clean sheets, and I think this number would have been a lot more had he not suffered a hand fracture. He suffered that hand fracture in the 4th week of the season, around March 15th, and he was out for about 2 months, and Ben Lunt filled in during that time. Ben made a total of 29 saves and had 2 clean sheets this year. I think Ben did a very good job filling in for Roman while he was out, and they both had incredible years again. Roman still made quite a bit of saves even though he was out for those 2 months, and I think he would have had more clean sheets had he not been out for that time, but still, 4 isn't bad. I'm really looking forward to seeing Roman in action again next season, and I'm so excited that the club re-signed him for another 2 years. I never, ever tire of seeing him make saves, and hopefully I'll get to see some of those in person again next season. And I just can't wait to see him do more of what he loves and lead this team with his experience and his champion's mentality. He's always got that champion's mentality locked in, and that's something that I really admire about him. And I'm also very grateful that that is not going anywhere for the next 2 years. So both Roman and Ben had incredible saves this year, and it's so hard to pick a favorite. So I'm going to do my top 3 for Roman and also do my favorite Ben save from his time filling in for Roman this year. I'm going to have to say my favorite Ben save was against LAFC when Denny Bouanga took the penalty kick and Ben saved it. So it did not go in.
Yards away from Denny Bouanga for a brace and for the lead. Saved by Lunt!
The last 9 penalties Denis Bouanga has taken, he's gone to the goalkeeper's left.
So you prepare yourself in understanding what the tendencies are, but Ben Lund is very long, and so he can wait a little bit later.
That was an amazing save. Now for my top 3 Roman saves. This was so hard to choose just 3 because they're all so incredible and spectacular. And he has come up big so many times again this year for this team. So my third favorite Roman save this year was one he made against the LA Galaxy in the third match of the season, more specifically against Marco Reus, his former teammate from Borussia Dortmund.
Has opened up a few angles for Marco Reus. Oh,
Royce into a dangerous ball! He hit the post! And then Miller put it over!
Ford is allowing Marco Reus then to get in behind those center midfielders of St. Louis City. First real bit of movement of anything.
He tipped that ball just enough so it would hit the post and not go in. My second favorite Roman save from this year was one he made against Real Salt Lake, and he jumped way up high to tip it over the crossbar.
Gonçalves. Russell!
He caught hold of that one on that sweet left foot. It was a good one for him because it just bounced up for him. Little touch, sweet left foot, just tips that shoulder. But because it's straight at Bürki, big hand save, pushes it away. Nice strike though, clean strike.
Yet another incredible save. And my favorite save from Roman this year was one he made against San Jose, where he became the Swiss Superman, flying through the air and knocking the ball away from the net.
It's Espinoza, headed towards goal, fabulous save!
Season. It's just a ridiculous save. The ball goes out wide, and Espinoza stands this one up well, and Arango gets all of it.
That is definitely one I never get sick of watching. Amazing job as always, Roman, and I cannot wait to see you make many more saves this coming season. So, as we all know, this season did not go the way that many of us thought it would. There were a couple pretty big reasons for that. First of all, being that many of the guys were in and out with injuries all season, including Roman, and quite a few others, and including Alm with his season-ending injury. And so that was rough on them, I know, and to me that contributed to the guys' record for this year and the struggles that they went through on and off the pitch. So that definitely did not help any this season. Another thing that had an impact on how this season went was the coaching change. We are currently on our 4th coach in 3 years, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So before the season started, Olaf Melberg, who was a very renowned soccer player over in Europe, was hired to be the head coach after John Hackworth's interim tenure was up at the end of last season. And I had a good feeling about him, I will say. I had high hopes. And things didn't go at all like I thought they would under him. Things did seem okay for the first 4 weeks. Defense was very, very solid, not letting in a goal at all, and getting clean sheets through the first 4 matches of the season, which was awesome. But the offense just wasn't on fire enough to score as many goals. I mean, the first 2 matches of the season were 0-0 ties. And then we scored 3 against the Galaxy and then 1 against Seattle in those first 4 weeks. And then we went on a losing streak and we didn't score goals for at least 4 matches after that, which was not good. That went against the original philosophy and mindset that this team was founded on, which was being very aggressive in our attack and very driven to score goals and as many as possible. Of course, we want to be good on both sides of the ball, and defense was killing it during Olaf's tenure, but I think we were very focused on the defense that we just kind of let the offense kind of go. and they just weren't very good results under Olaf. There was a total of 15 goals scored while he was head coach. He coached for 17 matches total, which includes regular season matches and Open Cup matches. And he had a record of 3 wins, 9 losses, and 5 ties. He was relieved of his duties on May 27th, which I remember kind of expecting, but also kind of still being shocked about, especially since he was the 3rd coach we've had in the past 2 to 3 years. But I also had a feeling that it was coming due to the results we were getting. Then David Critch, was elevated from the head coach of City 2 to the head coach of the first team after Olaf's firing. And he won his first match as head coach on May 31st against San Jose, which was a really fun one to watch and an exciting one for sure. Critch would then be our coach for the rest of the season, and I think he did a pretty good job considering the circumstances of all the injuries the guys were going through and other adversities. But I think Critch had a very fired up and determined mentality, and still does. And that is just something I did not see very much from Olaf Melberg. He just didn't seem as motivated like Critch is. So I think that somewhat had a factor in the mindset in the locker room for the guys and in training even. But Critch really brought that fire back when he became head coach, and the guys felt it. I could see it in the matches that Critch was head coach. I could see the fire returning to the guys' hearts and the mentality of, oh yes, we can do this. We can get these wins. And that is something I really like about Critch. I think he did a very good job. So Critch coached for 19 matches total and had a record of 6 wins, 10 losses, and 3 ties during his coaching tenure. And 33 goals were scored during his tenure. I personally hope he stays head coach for next season and potentially more seasons after that, because I think we just need to, once we have something, we just need to stick with it and build upon it, and we are starting to build with him at the helm. We were getting more wins stacked up towards the end of the season. We were gaining away wins too, which were huge, because it's hard to play away. It really is. And we were getting wins on the road and more points, more goals scored, So I think we just need to have something solid. And having him as head coach, I think, would help with that and would be best moving forward to have not another coaching change. We've had a lot over the past 3 years. 4 coaches is a lot. So yeah, I really hope he stays, because he's got that motivation to get the job done, and that is very admirable. Yeah, I want to know what you guys think about this too, because I know people have some mixed feelings about Critch, but I do feel like a lot of people like him and feel like he does a good job. And I really do feel like he could lead us not just to the playoffs, but far into the playoffs. I really think he could help this team really make waves in this league. So I really hope he stays. So let me know what you guys think about Critch in the comments below, and let me know if you think that he should stay for this season and seasons to come, or if you think somebody else would be better suited for that job. Let me know down in the comments below. Another really big thing that happened this year was the firing of sporting director Lutz Pfannenstiel. I was shocked yet again when this happened as well. I thought Lutz did a very good job with this team, and he was here from its very foundation, basically. Brought many of the players here that are still here today, including Roman. And I thought he stuck with the main philosophy of the team very well. So I was shocked when he was relieved of his duties. I want to thank you, Lutz, for doing such a wonderful job for this club and the dedication and love you have had for this club. And I wish you all the best with your new team. And now we have Corey Ray as our new sporting director. He was hired in late October, and it was officially announced on November 3rd that they had hired him. I think he is a good replacement for Lutz. I think he has that motivation to get good results with this team and bring about a team that is fighting for a championship and earning that championship and earning many wins along the way to that championship. I'm still very sad that Lutz is gone, but I think Corey will do a great job in Lutz's place. So I wish Corey very good luck as well in his new sporting director role. And I want to know what you guys think about this as well. Let me know down in the comments if you were sad to see Lutz go and what your thoughts were on him and the job he did and whether or not he should have stayed in his role as sporting director for City. Also, let me know what you think about Corey Ray. Do you think he will do a good job? Do you think he has the qualifications that City is really looking for in that role? Yeah, let me know what you guys think about the sporting director situation down in the comments below as well. So I got to go to 3 matches this season, 2 of which were very unexpected, but I'm very glad we went to. So the first match I went to was on May 17th. It was an MLS regular season match at Minnesota. The guys ended up losing 3-0, but it was still another incredible experience for me. And I got Roman's jersey and gloves after that match, which was a core memory, for sure. My dad filmed it happening, and every time I watch that video, it just makes my heart explode with gratefulness and excitement and love for my favorite player. It's still so surreal to me that happened. I'm just so grateful for Roman and for that experience. Yeah, and even though they lost, it was so much fun cheering them on. And Roman made incredible saves right in front of me, which was so awesome to witness. I never get sick of watching him make saves, whether it's on Apple TV or it's in person. Just amazing. Just never ceases to amaze me. So the second match I went to was just 4 or 5 days later. 4 days later, actually. Yeah. And it was a U.S. Open Cup match against Minnesota in the round of 16. The guys had previously won their first match of the U.S. Open Cup competition, the round of 32, against Union Omaha in St. Louis. And they got to move on and play in the round of 16, which happened to be against Minnesota in Minnesota. So my parents and I decided to take that jump and go back there and watch the guys play in a non-league match. And it was an incredible experience yet again. It was raining and cold, but I am so glad we went because it was so much fun cheering on the guys. We were some of the only City fans there, which was kind of cool. And the guys saw our signs and knew we were there. They were trying hard to get a win, and they came back after being down 1-0 to being up 2-1. But then Minnesota scored those 2 goals and got to move on in that competition. So it wasn't meant to be for City, but they should be proud of themselves for giving it their all in that competition as well. And I went out of that match thinking that's probably the last time I'm going to see the guys this season. And that made me kind of sad. But little did I know that 5 months later, my parents and I would be traveling down to St. Louis in a very last-minute trip to see the guys play in their last match of the season against Salt Lake. And again, it was raining. Not super, super cold, but once you got pretty soaked, it was kind of cold. But still, It was such an incredible experience, and one that I have no regrets of having, for sure. And being there for Roman's announcement of his re-signing was another core memory. And one I'll forever be grateful for, because I got to experience and celebrate it with other City fans around me. And even though it was not a full capacity stadium, it was still very loud in there. And we were all so excited and grateful that Roman was staying another 2 years. And being in the supporter section was such an experience. It was so much fun doing all the chants. I had the time of my life. I was just dancing and chanting and cheering in the pouring down rain. So crazy to still think about that I was down there in that stadium that I have dreamed about visiting for the longest time now. That was something I did not expect to experience this year, for sure. But I have no regrets of going down there, even in that weather. So I am so grateful for my experiences this year with this incredible team. And I am planning on going to the match they play in Minnesota this coming season. So I'm very, very excited for that. Already looking forward to it. And hopefully within the next couple of seasons, I'll get back down to St. Louis too. Really want to get back down there and experience a full capacity Energizer Park. And hopefully not in the rain too. But I have to admit, being in the rain was kind of fun. It made the experience that much more unique, for sure. So I am so excited for next season. I already can't wait. I'm looking forward to seeing what Corey does with the team and any new signings that come up during the offseason and during the season. It should be really interesting and exciting to see what this team can do in the coming season. And I'm looking forward to seeing if Critch will be our head coach this coming season, or if somebody different will be at the helm. Of course, I'm excited to see Roman make more saves and hopefully get a good amount of clean sheets. And I'm excited to see Klaus and Cello and Celio and everyone scoring goals like crazy, being aggressive in their attack, and getting a lot more W's, for sure. And a lot more of that fighting spirit and that fire and desire to win within the guys' hearts in this coming season and for many seasons to come. Another thing I'm looking forward to is seeing the new away kit. As you know, the guys wore the Confluence kit for this season and the season before. But now, since those 2 years have passed, we get a new away kit this year. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. I'm also looking forward to seeing what color kits Roman will be wearing this coming season. He had the black, which is behind me, and he had yellow and kind of like a minty green this year. And so I'm excited to see what 3 colors he gets this coming season. I have a feeling black will be back, but the other 2 colors are a mystery. So I'm excited to see what he wears. And just overall, again, really, really, really excited for the coming season. And I cannot wait to cheer the guys on through it all. No matter what happens, I will be all for City, always. So excited for 2026. Let's go, guys. So there's a lot of things that have been happening within the team and within the league itself over the past few weeks. And I will be doing another episode soon covering the latest signings within City, the latest birthdays the guys have had, as well as the huge news coming out of the MLS about the schedule change. So that will be in another episode that I do very soon. So I encourage you guys to please subscribe and click on your post notification bell so you get notifications about when I post that, so that you don't miss out. And I appreciate you guys for supporting me and my channel this season as a newbie YouTuber. This means so much to me, your support, and for your subscribing to my channel and following me on my social medias. Just thank you guys so much for your support this season, and I hope to gain more of your support for the next season and the seasons to come. I would also appreciate it if you left a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below, even just saying hi and where you're watching from, as well as your thoughts on the 2025 season and what you're looking forward to for the 2026 season. And if you aren't already following me on my Instagram and Facebook pages, I'm at the Bürki Breakdown. And also, as far as subscribers go, I'm hoping to get to 60 by the end of this year. There's still a month and a half left, so I'm optimistic that I will get to 60 by the end of the year. I believe I'm at 56 right now, if I remember correctly. So please help me out. Help me get to 60 subscribers before the beginning of 2026. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, following, and for supporting me in my beginning YouTube journey. And I cannot wait to do this more next year. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Let's go, City!